Hello humans and welcome to a Q&A with Chef Mike. I of course am Chef Mike because I'm filming the video. I've got the fancy coat and it's got my name on it, so that's what I'm gonna go with today. But anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody. One of the reasons why I'm doing this QA is because some of you Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter fans decided to post about my YouTube channel on Reddit. And I got like 3,000 more followers on YouTube, subscribers. So I'm up over 8,000. So I figured I'd do a little Q&A. So some of those new folks, if they don't know who I am, could get a little info about me. Also because last week I actually did an Amazon live cooking demonstration. So I did not post a video to YouTube. I'm gonna do this one and hopefully I'll do a cooking one later this week for y'all. So without further ado, let's get started and I will answer some of the best questions from Reddit. And by best questions, I mean I told my wife to pick her favorites and put it on a piece of paper because I love not really knowing what the questions are ahead of time. So that way I sound like an idiot when they come up. So let's rock and roll. From James Altraz on Reddit, if you could roast any member of the Rooster Teeth family over an open fire, what kind of rub would you use on that cheating referee Larry? And would he come with a sauce on the side or cooked into it? Well, first of all, Shifty Larry, I 100% blame him for me losing in the first round of Hardcore Mini Golf. Also the fact that Lindsey Jones is awesome and amazing, but I still think it was more Shifty Larry's fault. However, it is his birthday, and secretly, I think people who don't know who I am are like, why is this guy so mean and rude and such a jerk? And little do they know, like, I had such a great time, and I'm usually very nice, as far as you know. So, I actually would not roast Shifty Larry. He's a super nice guy, unless we're in content, and then I hate him, and I'd roast the heck out of him. He seems more like however you'd season like pork is how I would season Larry. I always do sauce on the side because I don't know if whoever's gonna have a little taste of Larry, if they're into sauce or not, so they can choose to put sauce on him if they so desire. Next question. I'm gonna look at the camera right there. D McDonald 97 on Reddit. What is a good activity for couples in the kitchen? My girlfriend and I both love to cook and I'd like to be able to do something together. Well, other than the obvious adult time in the kitchen, which could be a lot of fun, we're talking about more traditional cooking stuff. So either you guys can alternate courses, so one person takes care of, let's say, an appetizer, somebody does an entree, somebody does a dessert. You guys can choose a dish that has a lot of components in it. So one of you has to make the sauce, one of you has to cook the protein. You guys can figure out like how to make sides and vegetables. You guys could do mystery baskets. Maybe you pick 2 or 3 ingredients, she picks 2 or 3 ingredients, you swap, you don't tell each other what they are, and you figure out how to make a tasty, delicious meal. And you guys could, of course, vote on who's the best, even though there's only 2 of you, and I would imagine you're just gonna eat it anyway. But those are some fun things to do in the kitchen if both of you like to cook. Next question from Zard Brood. Broad with 2 O's? Is that Broad or Brood? I don't know. On Reddit. Hi, Chef Mike. I've always been curious about what you went to school for and how you got into cooking as a career. I'm personally at the point in life where I'm not sure what to do, but I've always been interested in cooking meals. So I'm curious what options there are out there, especially less traditional restaurant careers. Okay, I'll do the quick abridged version of my culinary career. Grew up cooking with the family. I wanted to open up my own restaurant. I got into culinary school, learned more about the business, and I was like, I don't want to open my own restaurants. You're working nights, weekends, and holidays. Very busy, lot of hours. I wanted to have a family and be in a metal band, so I needed my nights and weekends and holidays to rock and roll. So I went to school. I did 2 years of culinary arts at Johnson & Wales in Providence, Rhode Island, and then I have a bachelor's from Johnson & Wales in culinary nutrition. At the time, I did my 2 years of culinary arts. I was on the dean's list and all that, relatively easy because I worked in the industry before going to culinary school. I could have did 2 more years of culinary. I figured I would learn that kind of stuff out in the industry, so I went and did culinary nutrition, which were a bunch of classes I knew nothing about. Medical nutrition therapy, I had to take like anatomy and physiology, but also within that major at the time is where I learned about food science and product development, which is the career path I went on. With a culinary degree, there are quite a few different jobs you can do. Not only can you work in a restaurant, you could be a corporate chef for a restaurant group. You could work in operations where you know how to cook, but you actually want to figure out how to facilitate that in a restaurant. You could be an ingredient buyer or seller. You could be a food stylist. You could be, a food critic. You could do writing your own cookbooks. You don't even have to work in a restaurant. There's all kinds of different positions. If you think of any kind of traditional job, whether it's management, business, whatever, restaurants, food manufacturers, big food brands all have huge staffs. Food law, nutrition, dietitian. So all these things that are food-based, you could do any of those awesome things with a culinary degree. But also if you're looking to be a traditional restaurant chef, you might be able to just skip culinary school and just work in the industry and work your way up. It's still a trade that I think still is in that realm where you don't necessarily have to go to culinary school. A degree does help certain job opportunities, but it's up to you to decide if the investment is worth it and all that fun stuff. But there's like hundreds of jobs you could do with a culinary degree if you don't want to work just in a restaurant. From JStorm05 on Reddit, if you were to have a game night on PlayStation with your fans and whatnot, what game would you like to crew up in and play, since we're friends on PlayStation and whatnot? He typed, or JStorm, he or she or they typed haha, so I did the laugh. Well, since today I played Fall Guys for the first time, and in 7 rounds I won twice. So I'm going to say that game. I know there's a couple people out there who have yet to win. I apologize. I don't know if because I grew up playing like original Nintendo and other like platformers and side scrollers and things that are just jump dodge type games that we have an advantage because I've played those games for years and years. But apparently I did okay. Now what's going to happen the next time I play, I'm just going to epically fail for like weeks on end, and I'm going to get super frustrated, and I'll probably throw a controller at the screen. So look out for that. From Oreo Ninja 17 on Reddit, during this pandemic, do you have a specific exercise schedule? If so, what is it? What do you do for exercise? Well, I'm sure you cannot actually tell, but I actually do work out relatively consistent. Usually Monday through Friday in the mornings at like 8 to 10 or so. I'll usually do like a half hour to 45 minute on a spin bike, which I have right over there. And then I do 3 rounds of this circuit that I do. So I have 2 30-pound dumbbells. I'm looking at them right now. But I will start off with like 40 to 60 squats, just no weight, just rock and roll. I usually do like 20. I walk around my basement real quick, a lap or 2, and then do more. And then I do, what do I do next? Push-ups, I'll usually do 20 to 30. I'll get up and do a bunch of curls, usually 20 to 30. I'll get down and do sit-ups, and then lay on my back and do those leg lift things. Obviously, I'm not as knowledgeable in the names of the moves, but whatever. Then I get up and I sit on the edge of the table and I do, not bench press, overhead dumbbell lifts. I don't know, one of these. And then I get on the edge of the table and I do stuff for my back, so I just pull them up. And then I do these things, where you like kind of wing them. Hopefully that's doing something for me. And then I just do lifts right up my sides. Like I think that works, like my shoulders and stuff. But I try to do that 4 to 5 times a week when scheduling and all that allows. But I also eat whatever I want, and usually the food wins, so that's why I don't look like a shredded, 10-pack looking shirtless chef guy. So I'll keep doing it because I feel good about it, and, it's good for you, but I'm not looking to be, jacked as of yet. Next question from Death Clock Dog. Death Clock Dog. Yeah, that's on Reddit. Hiya, Chef. Huge fan. If you could go on a knockdown, drag-out bender with anybody living or dead, who would it be, and what would be the drink of choice? Oh, my gosh. That is a very hard one. One of the people I haven't met yet is Kevin Smith. I think you've heard me talk about him and wanting to be the movies chef in his next movie. We'll see if that happens. Who would I want to rock out with and have a bunch of drinks with? The Rock. He probably is drinking tequila. Jason Statham is probably drinking Guinness. Who else would I want to party with? That's a hard one. Maybe somebody like I don't know. I'll party with whatever. It's them who should be excited to party with me, because I can throw down if needed, but of course I do it very safely, and I don't drive and drink responsibly. From 18 or I 8 Pig or 18 Pig on Reddit. Have you ever taught any culinary classes? If yes, then do you ever lose your temper at anyone for whatever reason? I mean, I have a YouTube channel where I teach people. I don't know if I've ever really done like a formal, I'm teaching a class, come sign up. I've done, I don't know how many trade shows where I'll be at a counter and like showing people how to make stuff. But it's not necessarily a traditionally culinary like cooking class. However, when I worked in restaurants, especially early on, I absolutely made a variety of servers cry when I have food in my window. They're on their cell phones when they should be running food that's hot and fresh out to the guests, and they're not doing that. The food and kitchen life is loud, could be inappropriate, probably needs I made a bunch of people cry. But I don't want to, I used to really blow up, but I've learned to control that temper, because who cares? Life's too short. I don't need to be yelling at people. I mean, if they're bad, I'm just going to get them fired behind their back because they suck, and they shouldn't be working at my restaurant anyway. So next question from OG Scorpio 13 on Reddit. When coming up with menu items for a restaurant, what do you take into consideration? Menus are the hardest thing for me to come up with for some reason, and at times I feel like they are subpar at best. Well, people spend years and years on trying to perfect coming up with menu items for restaurants. So, I mean, I wouldn't say there's a specific code, but me personally, the one big thing you have to remember, especially if you are developing recipes for, let's say, a chain restaurant or a restaurant that's not your name on the door, or for retail items on the shelf, is that it does not matter what you like and what you I might have just hit the microphone, I'm sorry. It does not matter what you like and what you think people want. It matters what they actually want, what their feedback is. You can do a lot of your own research, whether that is understanding the restaurant, who the guests are. Are you in a very rural area where people are maybe not as adventurous in their culinary liking? Perhaps they are looking for something a little lower budget. So you need to take all those things into consideration. Really, who your guests are. Do they have any dietary restrictions or food allergies? What are they willing to pay? What time of day are they showing up? How long do they have to eat with you? And is there any other background important information? Like, this person does not like onions. This person does not like cilantro. This person does not like pineapple on their pizza, which is a stupid thing because pineapple on pizza is delicious. But yeah, so there's a lot of things to consider, but the most important, of course, is don't cook for yourself, cook for your guests. So if they like salt, you're going to want to put a little extra salt. If they have dietary restrictions, don't put those things in the food because it will not make them happy. Next question from Lucky Dude 139 on Reddit. For someone who is newer in the kitchen, what do you think would be the first basic skill to master? Love, a broke college student who wants to learn to cook. Newer to the kitchen and a broke college student, I would say maybe perfecting cooking in a microwave might be a good one, since you really don't have a lot of cuisine or cooking apparatus at your fingertips. You need to understand that there are certain power levels on the microwave. Maybe you want to thaw something out first before then finishing cooking it in the microwave. So a lot of the time, you may want to do 40 or 50% power for a few minutes, let that item kind of cook and get warm up and get almost room temp before you actually go full blast. Really, the strategy to learn would be think about it as an R&D chef like I am. Let's say you want to do something like mashed potatoes. Super easy. Potatoes, butter, cream, salt, pepper, maybe some garlic. That's it. Make a small batch, take notes, taste it, decide how you would change it. Oh, it's not salty enough. It's too runny. I added too much cream, but there's not enough butter. Then make a small batch again. Make those adjustments. Once you understand cause and effect, once you understand if I do this, then that happens. Oh, it's too runny. What should I do to thicken it up? Add more potato. But if I overmix it, it might look a little like waxy and shiny. So, all right, I can't just mix in potato. I should be adding it in the beginning with as limited mixing as possible. There's all these different variables. So try to record everything that you do. Make the thing, make adjustments, and there you will see like, oh, if I do this, this will happen, and you're learning research and development right there. So do that. From Why Must I Care on Reddit. Hey, chef, I am currently in the military and plan on going to the culinary world when I get out. Do you think that going to a culinary school like CIA is worth it, or is hands-on work typically a better course of action? We kind of just talked about this, so. But depending on what your career goals are, if you are looking to be a pure restaurant chef, you don't want to own the restaurant, you want to be the executive chef at a place, I think that kind of life, you can absolutely just work in the industry, get some street cred. You may want to take some other auxiliary classes, like you may not want to get a degree, but maybe understanding a little bit of marketing, maybe a little social media if you're trying to brand yourself. Some management classes, you're going to want to have to do food ordering, quality control. You do have to manage a budget. So having some education in that, you don't have to go to college for that, but at least do your homework there. But fortunately or unfortunately, there are still a lot of careers out there, especially like what I do in research and development or food science or product development, where they do require a degree. So it's up to you to kind of, if you want to do that investment, kind of do the positive and negatives of that. At least in my career path, culinary school was a great benefit. But also remember that if you go to culinary school, right when you graduate, do not come out with a chip on your shoulder like you know everything. Culinary school is great to give you a little bit of knowledge, a little taste of all these different things that you may need to know or will learn out in the industry, so that when those things come up, oh, I've already ordered ingredients for my mock restaurant at culinary school. So now when that task is ahead of you, you are already familiar somewhat with it. But you are not an expert at all. You need to do actual hands-on learning for that. So just remember, just because you graduated culinary school, you ain't gonna be the executive chef. And if you have that attitude like you are not going to get far. So get the chip off your shoulder, roll the sleeves up, and do work. Next question from that guy, 086 on Reddit. Hey, Chef Mike, what music have you been listening to lately? Any good recommendations? Well, I am a pretty metal heavy kind of guy, hardcore, metalcore, death metal, black metal. I like Swedish melodic metal. So like In Flames, Unearth, Killswitch Engage, Lamb of God, Sevendust. Who else have I been listening to? Where's my phone? I'm recording on my phone. I'm looking for my phone to check out the songs that I like, and I'm looking at my phone right now, so I'm an idiot. What were some? Impending Doom. Now, I am not a, religious person. They happen to be like Christian metal. I don't listen to them for that reason, but they're pretty awesome. I'm also a big fan of Memphis May Fire, which some of you youngins will be like, why does this old guy like Memphis May Fire? Because when I was like 24 4 or something, they were on tour and opened up for my brother's band. And I saw them at this place called North Beach in Downers Grove, Illinois. And they played for 23 or so people, which is one of them was me. And I was like front row. And these dudes destroyed it. They sounded so awesome. They gave it 100% effort. They played like if the venue was completely full. So that started my love for them. And I've seen their career progress. Now they're, pretty big and have lots of albums and all that stuff. But I still have the little 5-song demo disc of Memphis May Fire. Highly recommend them. They're pretty awesome. Too much metal for one hand. From Sweet Tooth 7 on Reddit. Ooh, is that a reference to some of my favorite video games? I know a lot of people are asking questions about cooking, but what's something that you really enjoy? I feel like the only things I really know you like is food and video games and music, but then again, that's just about everything I like too. I am one of those, I will try everything, and once I get like kind of get a little taste, I go 100% all in, too much. So like when I turned 30, I was like, I've never golfed before. I'm going to learn how to golf. I get golf clubs that are way too good for me. I take a bunch of lessons. I get worse over time. I'm horrible at golf, but I love playing it. 1 year, I was like, I'm going to run the Chicago Marathon. So I prepped by running 2 half marathons. So I did the Chicago half marathon the previous year. Following year, the half marathon and the full marathon. 1 year, I was like, I'm going to start doing barbecue competitions. So I've been doing that for 5 or 6 years. I'm a certified barbecue judge, and I do those barbecue competitions on the side. At least I did when they were being held in public spaces. Another year, one of my buddies had a dartboard in his basement, and we were playing a couple games. I'm like, I'm getting obsessed. So I got a dartboard, a steel tip, and I played and practiced, and I suck, but I still do that. I think the last thing is my love for Dungeons & Dragons. I spend a lot of money on books and minis and writing stories. I've really enjoyed being a DM, and I do a very, very much homebrew game because I have a horrible memory, especially my short-term memory. So remembering character names, doing voices, following the D&D lore as it's been written is very difficult for me. So I just make up my own thing, and it's a lot easier for me to remember. Just like when I used to play guitar in bands, I was much better at original music when I would write it myself versus learning something that's already written. I don't know why. It's just how my brain works. So I do all the things very poorly, but I love doing all the things. D. Hoovy, H-U-V-Y on Reddit. Oh, this is a good question. Why is pineapple on pizza so delicious? I'm going to tell you why. First of all, if you don't know, I am a very big supporter of pineapple on pizza, not only because I love it, but because I don't care what anyone else thinks. If you like bubblegum on pizza, if you like cotton candy on pizza, I should not ever tell you that's disgusting. Why would you do that? You're wrong. Do what you want, love what you want. That's awesome. I think pineapple on pizza is the best because, well, I'm going to tell you my favorite pizza. It's pepperoni, it's bacon, and pineapple. Those 3 ingredients together are the trifecta on a delicious pizza with marinara sauce. I don't need any of that barbecue shenanigan. Give me the traditional marinara because first, pepperoni. Hopefully it's a good pepperoni that adds a nice little spice, a nice little heat, a nice little kind of fattiness along with the bacon. The bacon is going to add a lot of smokiness to that pizza, which is delicious. So now you've got cheese, you've got sauce, you've got crust, you've got bacon, you've got pepperoni. All those things are very salty and savory. So what's a good counterbalance to that? Pineapple. It's perfect because all that salty, you get hit with the sweet, and it's a beautiful combination. One of the things I relate that to is Lucky Charms. You eat Lucky Charms without any marshmallows? It's okay cereal. But every time you get one of those little marshmallows, it's like, oh, a pop of nice, sweet, delicious flavor. And that's how the pineapple acts on your pizza. So that is why I think pineapple is so delicious on pizza. Pineapple is very common in barbecue world, so it goes great with barbecue sauces, which a lot of times are tomato-based, as is the marinara on your pizza. So just put whatever you want on your pizza. Who cares what anyone thinks? That's why it's so delicious. Next question from the same person as last time. They got 2 in. D. Hoovy, H-U-V-Y. Theoretically speaking, after years of evading the law, you're finally captured for the unmentionable crimes you committed. Yep. You're now on death row. Holy cow. And it's your final night before you're to be put to death. What's your final meal? It'll be 2 things. Very pork-centric. I'm going to get as much bacon as they'll possibly give me. I want it cooked just right, baked in the oven. Not too crispy and not too soft. I want it to be like cotton candy melt in your mouth. And then probably some pork belly, like pork belly burnt ends, more barbecue style, so falling apart, delicious meat. And I'd probably just get I'd probably do some steak action there, some beef action. I'm not eating for health, so I don't need vegetables. Just all the meats. Maybe I'll eat so much meat that I just ate too much meat, which would be one heck of a way to go. But I'm certainly not going to do anything deserving of being on death row, so I don't really have to worry about that. Last question. We're already almost over. That makes me sad. From Budding Seed on Reddit. You might be a gardener of some kind. At this very moment in time, what is your favorite barbecue sauce and your favorite barbecue restaurant? I'll tell you my favorite barbecue sauce, because at this time, I really can't go to too many barbecue restaurants. My favorite barbecue sauce right now, it's called Blues Hog. And yes, if you are on the barbecue competition circuit, you are very familiar, because many teams will either just buy it and use it, or buy it and doctor it up just a little bit to make it signature for theirs. Because a lot of times at these competitions, the people are not making their own barbecue sauce from scratch. Sometimes they don't make their own rubs from scratch. Sometimes they don't make their own injections and seasonings and everything else from scratch. They'll just buy it, which is a great debate in itself of barbecue competitions. But Blues Hog, traditional, and then there is a competition style, both of which are delicious. They're more of a KC, Kansas City style sweet heat, kind of sauce, which is my preference because I'm from Chicago and that's what we eat. But you might be from an area of the country where it's very heavy mustard base, or you might be a little more in a vinegar heavy one. I'm just letting you know my personal preference. It's not any better than yours. It's just different. So you get what you want. I'm going to get what I want. I like Blues Hog. All right, humans, that is the end of this Q&A. Once again, I want to thank everybody, especially those in the Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter fandom, for spreading the news that I do have a YouTube channel. You gave me like 3,000 more followers in a few days, which is why I'm doing this video. Thank you again. It's Chef Mike Does Stuff on the YouTubes. Feel free to tell all your friends that it exists, because that would be awesome. I'm going to be doing more cooking videos, more cooking streams. I'm hopefully going to do some more gaming streams. I'm going to do some more Amazon Live stuff. And then anyone else out there who wants to use Chef Mike for something awesome, I just burped and it tasted like a protein shake, because that's what I had after working out. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you need me for anything, shoot me an email at chefmikedoesstuff@gmail.com. We could work something out. I do have the Chef Mike fan club on Reddit. I usually nowadays just post all the things I'm doing. Follow me on the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Facebook, LinkedIn if you got it. And I'm going to try to play some more Fall Guys, because everybody's playing it. So I might as well get good at something so that the internet is happy and follows along. So once again, thank you guys very much. And I look forward to the next video. Okay, bye. Do, 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 do.